nice in your body. So let's relax back onto the back of the chair. You can take your hands and place them on your lap. And then just closing your eyes. So, taking a moment to feel the chair underneath you. So noticing where it's touching your body. And seeing if you can let your body relax a little more into the chair. And sometimes when we do that, we notice that our glutes were actually holding quite tight, or that our shoulders were trying to support us. But let's see if you can make the chair do more of the work. So letting your body get heavy, letting your feet settle into the ground. And then starting to become aware of your breath. If you like, you can take your left hand and place it on your heart and then place your right hand over. And sometimes that can just feel nice, just to feel that rise and fall. And giving yourself a chance to slow down in order to tune in. And taking your hands, placing them onto the lower part of your stomach. And seeing if you can send your breath into your hands. So as you inhale, letting your stomach expand with air. And then as you exhale, letting your belly button float back towards your spine. It's really easy. So maybe with each exhale, imagining your shoulders relaxing down away from your ears. Imagining your jaw softening. Imagining the space between your eyebrows being smoothed out. Becoming aware of anywhere in your body that feels tight, that feels restricted, that might feel a little painful. And giving yourself permission to feel any of the feelings inside your body or any of the emotions that might come up with it. So what we're doing is creating a sense of wholeness. There's nothing that we're eliminating. We're going to honor all the sensations that come up and adjust as necessary. And imagining with the next couple of breaths that you're breathing directly into the parts that feel sore. So imagining the breath moving down and into them. And then as you exhale, opening your mouth and letting all that air out. And you can make your exhales as loud as you want because you are all on mute right now. You can sigh them out. You can sing them out. You can make any noise that feels good here. So inhaling, sending the breath maybe into wherever feels tight, wherever feels restricted. And then letting that breath come out. One more of those breaths. And then letting the air out. And returning to a normal breath. So what can happen when there is a lot going on is we can hold a little bit of our exhales in, almost like we're hoarding the breath. But one of the most powerful messages that we can let the body hear is our exhale. When we fully exhale, we send a message to the body that it is safe. It's why we yawn when we're ready to go to bed. So we're going to take a really big inhale here. And we're going to exhale every drop of that exhale out of your mouth. Every single drop until there's no more air left inside you. And then feel that delicious rush as the oxygen flows back in. Filling up and then letting it go again. And letting it go until it's all gone. Trusting that air is going to come back in. Letting it refill your lungs. And then exhale out of your mouth. And opening your eyes, seeing how you feel after that. So our lungs are actually, if you were to unfold your lungs, like all the little lining, and spread out your lungs are the size of a tennis court. Like your lungs are amazing, like that capacity. And what we want to do when we want to relax the body is let as much air out as possible. So we're now going to come and sit up. You might want to sit up a little bit more forward on the chair for this. I find that brings that little extra length to the spine. And we're going to start with our wrists. So, yes, sometimes we don't really think about our wrists. We don't really think about our wrists getting tight. So what we're going to do is let your left hand stretch out in front of you. And as we inhale, we're going to tuck our fingers into a fist. So starting with the thumb. So let all the air out. And then inhale, tuck your thumb. First finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. And then exhale, little finger out. Next one, next one. First finger, thumb. So inhaling, thumb comes in. First finger, second, third, and fourth. And then exhaling, little one comes out. And you might notice a couple want to come up together. And then just move your fingers around. Taking that same hand, we're going to point your fingers towards your body and place your hand, the back of your hand, onto your thigh. And then very, very gently, very incrementally, just start to lean slightly forward so there's a little gentle pressure in the wrist, a gentle stretch. Yeah. And you can play with how much you want to lean forward. If you want to lean back a little more with your shoulders, it makes it a little bit more intense. And take a nice deep breath in here. Letting all that air out. And then gently, gently lifting up the hand and releasing it. You might start to feel it sort of coming back to life after that as the blood flow goes back in. And resting that hand down, coming to the other side. So hand out, stretch. Let all the air out to begin with. And then as you breathe in, tuck your thumb in. So one, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. And then as you exhale, let your little finger come out, then the next one, then the next one, first finger, and then thumb. So once more, inhaling, tucking your thumb, first finger, second, third, and fourth, and then releasing, last finger, second to last, middle, first finger, thumb. And then wiggling your fingers a little bit here. Take your fingertips, point them towards you. Your back of your hand is on your thigh, and then gently just melt your wrist down and away from you. And then adjust where your shoulders are here. It might be that you lean forward to accommodate how it feels in your wrist. It may be that you lean slightly back. So giving yourself a little bit of a chance just to feel into the wrists. One might feel totally different to the other. Take a big breath in here. Big breath out. And then slowly, slowly lifting out. Wiggling your fingers, wiggling on both sides. And if you like, doing a little wrist circle and then circling the other way. And then taking your hands together, getting a little bit of heat in your hands and then giving your arms a little bit of rub and really rubbing around the wrists and rubbing up the other side. We often don't give this part of the body a lot of attention. You can take your thumbs and really do a little circle into the wrist here. I've had a little explore. So the muscles go through this very, very small area here. So stretching the hands, stretching the wrists can really give us some ease. And then coming to the other side. And then just have a bit of a play with pressure. If you're feeling it's a little bit sensitive, go lightly. You might find that actually it can take a little bit more pressure and then you can just gently move it in. You can take your fingers sort of around the base of your thumb. Yeah, sometimes there's some good bits in there. Lovely. And then take your hands into a clasp and bring the clasp away from you. Relaxing your shoulders here. So with all of these things that I'm saying, they're just an offering, it's just an invitation. If this doesn't feel right for you today, you can have one arm up, you can have your hands further down, just seeing how it feels. And just seeing if you can relax your shoulders, imagining more space between your ears and your shoulders. Lovely. Big breath in, big breath out. Releasing the hands, and we're going to take your hands back to back. Take your left hand up into the air, cross your other hand over, and then taking a clasp. Yeah, lovely. So from that clasp, bringing it in towards you. That's it, relaxing the shoulders, and then gently starting to melt the clasp away from you. So you might, just so you feel a slight sensation in the wrist. So with stretching, the reason that we don't want to force anything is that when muscles are tight, they're tight because they're trying to protect you. So if we go barging in there, they think they're under attack and they're going to tighten up even more. So we actually want to, with these, just make it a little bit easier. And then when we bring that lovely exhale to it, that sends the message to the body that it's safe, the muscles go, oh, okay. And that's how they begin to lengthen. Gently taking your hands towards you, melting them away. And then from there, we're going to switch to the other side. So look at what hand's on top, lift it up, take the other hand over, bringing it in. And my two sides are completely different. So just again, seeing where you are on this side. You might be further in towards your body, you might be further away. Just seeing how that feels, keeping that relaxation around the shoulders. And anytime you feel your face getting a little tense, smiling is the best way to release tension in the face. So at any point, you can just smile. And again, all of that is sending messages to the body that we're doing something nourishing. Gently taking your hands in towards you, softly taking them away. Unclasping, taking your hands out, coming back to the original clasp where your hands were turned out away from you. And again, just exploring, you might stay here or you might start to bring your arms up. If they come up, we usually want our forearms up by our ears, but see if you can actually relax your shoulder blades down your back. Yeah. And then notice, and I do this all the time, I stick my chest out here, but see if you can actually bring your rib cage slightly back. Yeah. So if you're finding this quite comfortable, bringing your rib cage slightly up, keep that relaxation around the shoulders and keep stretching up in the direction of this blue sky. Lovely. Releasing your hands and slowly coming down. So inhale, taking your arms wide. And then looking up towards your thumbs, exhale, hands come down, heart center. Inhale, swooping wide, really reaching out through your fingertips. Exhale, hands come down. And for this last one, you can close your eyes if you like, so you can really feel that sensation, that length through your fingers. And then exhaling, hands come down, heart center. Take your hands to your thighs. I quite like my legs just a little bit further apart, so you feel a bit more secure on the chair for this. We're going to start with a small movement and then make it as big as we want to. So the movement is, if you imagine the center of your chest, that there was this little string almost, just lifting it up and back gently. So we're softly lifting up towards the ceiling and then softly letting it go back. And then you can introduce your chin lifting up with it and then your chin coming down with it. And if you like, you can lift up, lean forward, let your shoulder blades melt back, and then round and let your shoulders come forward as your chin comes down. So lifting, maybe leaning forward, maybe not, just seeing how you feel, rounding back. So inhaling, let the stomach expand with air, the chest expand with air, and maybe doing even more of the lean forward and maybe leaning back a little bit further. Just seeing how you feel. There are some days where I get more out of it staying right here. So all of these movements, wherever you are, is beneficial. So we're just creating a little movement along the spine, a little forward fold, little back bend, moving with the breath. Inhaling as you lift up. Exhaling as you come back. And then gently finding your way back to center. We're going to do a few shoulder rolls. And again, you can do quite a small movement here, or you can be quite dramatic with it, like imagining you're on stage and you want everyone to know you're doing a shoulder roll. You can just really explore how it's feeling. So letting yourself feel the creaky bits, the crunchy bits. Lovely. And then gently resting your hands down and taking your left hand, let's see, left hand. And we're going to do a shoulder roll, a shoulder circle here. So bringing your elbow forward, and then we're just drawing a circle that's available for you today. So it might be that your circle stays here, or it might be that it opens up. But wherever it is today is the perfect spot. And seeing if you can move with your breath. So inhaling up, exhaling back. Inhaling, coming up, exhaling back. Yeah, and allowing yourself to feel, and if anything doesn't feel right, knowing that you can stop. If you're unsure, checking in with your breath. Your breath is nice and easy. It's often a sign that you can make it a little bit bigger, but if anything doesn't feel right, it's just a sign of not today. And then relaxing that shoulder and that hand back down, closing your eyes for a moment and see if you can feel a difference between the two shoulders. Seeing if you can feel that blood flow. You can feel a little bit of warmth. I know mine feels lower than my other shoulder right now, so that can happen too. And then gently coming to the other side. So taking your right hand to your shoulder and gently moving up and around. So inhaling as you come up, exhaling as you go back. And just going in a way that feels good for you today. So if you want to even take your time and stop at a point and breathe for a moment and then keep going, you can do that. Lovely. Coming into the last couple of these. Inhaling up, exhaling back. Last one. Inhaling up and exhaling back. And relaxing your hand back down. And take your chin all the way down to your chest. And just letting your head get really heavy here. If you think about your shoulders melting down away from your ears and your head getting heavy, just noticing if you feel a little stretch along the side of your head or along the sides of your neck. And then softly starting to lift back up the spine here. So if you take your right knee and place it, let me do the same side as you. Let me take your right knee and place it over. And feeling yourself get nice and tall here. Now this, you might already be feeling it in your hips, in which case I would invite you to stay in this position. If this is feeling good, if you'd like, you can extend your right hand up towards the ceiling, maybe stay here. Or you can start to turn your chest towards your right side, take your hand down and around behind you, and then coming forward and drawing another circle here, and looking back towards your hand. So slightly different circle, we're opening up and looking back. And then for this last one, we're going to keep getting long through your spine, and then thinking of the center of your heart moving very, very slightly over towards the right. So just the center of your heart. See if you can keep your nose actually over the center so there's no craning of the neck here. Lovely. Inhale, get nice and long in your spine, and then turn back through center and exhale. Lovely. You can do a little counter on the other side. So getting nice and long, and then taking your left hand down and just very softly moving to the next side. Gently on an inhale, come back through center, uncross your legs. And then if this feels good, you can either stay here and hold your knees and just let your head and your shoulders round. If you prefer, you can come down onto your forearms, or you can melt all the way over or on around your ankles. You're welcome to do that. So wherever you are, just allowing your head to relax, your shoulders to relax, and feeling some kind of support in this forward fold. And rolling up vertebrae by vertebrae, coming all the way up and crossing to the other side. So this time we're going to take the left knee over. So taking your, did I say left knee? I'm good. I'm taking the opposite hand to that knee. And again, you might stay here just nice and tall with your spine. This is a good place to be. You might take your arm up into the air here, or you might turn and do a circle with your arm. So there's lots of options. You can always just take a moment just to have a couple of breaths. Again, thinking about the exhales, thinking about letting all the air out. Inhaling as you come up. Exhaling as you go back. And then for this last one, if you like, you can hold it there. Bring your nose so it's over the center of your chest, and thinking about your chest also moving towards the left. And breathing in and breathing out here. As you inhale, get tall in your spine and softly come back through center, exhaling here. And then just doing a very soft counter turn to the other side. And then gently come back through center, uncross your legs, and then coming into the forward fold of your choice. So again, it might be your head gently coming forward here. It might be resting onto your legs. It might be folding all the way down. So just seeing what feels nice for you today. If your head going forward doesn't feel nice, then just come back up to seated. So this is your yoga, your time really to honor what your body would like at this particular moment. So wherever you are, breathing in deeply and letting all the air out. And then very slowly, if you're in a forward fold, climbing up the body with your hands and coming up to seated. So taking your right hand down to the chair beside you, and I like to move slightly over to the side for this, and extending, leading with the elbow, extending the left hand up nice and long here. And again, this is just to see how this feels today. This is feeling good, stay right here. If you want to, gently bend the lower elbow and turn it into a side stretch, you can, but just being aware of if anything starts to round, and then just gently come up a little bit. And again, just relax the shoulders, relax the face, smile it out, and breathe it out. Softly coming up through center, and then shifting to the other side. So taking your hand to the chair here. We're gonna extend through this side, and again, just honoring how this side feels and what this side would like, if it's the same or if it's different. And then maybe from that sense of length, bending the lower elbow and coming into a side stretch here. Inhale, lengthening, smiling it out, relaxing the shoulders. Taking all that air out with the exhale. On an inhale, come up through center, and then gently find your way back to the middle. taking your legs out a little bit wider again, and then softly moving through the cat-cow. So that is when the chin lifts, the chest comes forward, you inhale, and then rounding again through the back. So we've moved the spine, just doing a couple of these. We've moved the spine in its 6 planes of movement, forward and back, twisting side to side, and side stretching. And moving it back. And then gently coming up to seated. I like, again, my feet just a little bit wider than my hips for this because it makes me feel really grounded here, but feet roughly hip width distance apart. And then this is just an option. It's another side stretch if it feels nice today. So you can stay here with your hands in the clasp, palms faced away from you. You can lift up towards the ceiling. You can stay here. Or if you like, you can keep that lift, relax the shoulders, and take a side stretch here. Just going as far as feels good. Big breath in here. Filling your stomach with air, let it out of your mouth. On your inhale, come up through center. Exhale to the other side. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the face. Big inhale here. Filling up with air, let it all out of your mouth. And inhale up through center. Exhale, arms come wide and down. Inhale, swoop the arms wide, come all the way up, fingertips touch. Exhale, this time hands come down into cactus arms, and that's where we have our elbows bent, and then continue that journey down. Yeah, it usually gets in a little bit more around the shoulders for this one. So inhale, lifting up. Exhale, cactus arms and floating down. Lovely. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, floating down. Take your arms out in front of you. You're going to take your left elbow and bring it underneath your right. Yeah. So, and bend your elbows here. It might be that you stay in this position or you give yourself a hug here. This is a really great option. So if it feels good and your hands come together and that feels nice, this is called eagle arms. So I'll show you from the side here. So where you can stay in this position. If this is feeling good and you want to move a little bit further, you can raise your elbows up so they're in line with your shoulders, and you can melt your hands away from your face. That's only if it feels good. Some days a cuddle is really nice, and by all means stay here, give yourself a hug, or you can take the eagle arms option and maybe lift up, maybe lift away. Take a big breath in wherever you are. Exhale it out of your mouth, and then slowly swoop wide with the arms, lifting all the way up towards the ceiling or the sky, and exhale, take your hands down, heart center. Coming to the other side. So arms out. This time your right arm goes under, and either giving yourself a hug here, relaxing the shoulders, or snuggle your elbows in towards each other, maybe push them in towards each other slightly, like gentle push, if that feels nice. More of a nestling. Let's go with nestling. And if you want, you can keep your elbows down. This is great. Where we're getting into is the rhomboids, the muscles in between the shoulder blades. So they're the ones that live in here. So if you're feeling it, you can stop there. If you want to lift your elbows up and lift them away, you can. Wherever you are, taking a big breath in and a big breath out. Release the arms, floating up towards the ceiling or the sky, and then exhale, hands come down, heart center. And then coming back to the shoulder roll, yeah, and just seeing if it feels a little different after that. And you can make the shoulder roll really dramatic if you like, really get your elbows and your wrists and everything involved in it. You want, you can round your back and like do a little cat-cow with your back at the same time. Yeah, so rounding forward as your arms come forward. Yeah, so anything that feels really nourishing and delicious, that's what we're doing at this moment. And then when you finish the one that you're on, just letting your body settle. And we're going to take the left ear towards the left shoulder. So the muscles of the neck work really hard. And the neck and shoulders are very conscientious about their jobs. So we want all these stretches that we're going to do now to do very, very slowly. Imagining that you're moving through syrup. And we're just exploring. So allowing yourself to feel the sensations. Allowing yourself to notice where they live, where they move into, attached to. And it might be in this position that you're feeling enough, in which case I would say to stay in this position. Or if you like, you can take your left fingers and let them point down towards the ground. And then imagining someone pulling down on your wrist. So feeling that length, an additional stretch going up. And it's not uncommon when we do these to not only feel it maybe here, but I've got a spot on the other side that I can then feel it in my ear, in the front of my forehead. Sometimes it can be really interesting to know where our sensations come from, what connects, even in ways we can't really imagine. Even as a massage therapist, there are times when I get a massage that I swear it's magic, even though I know logically how the muscles are connecting. If it feels good, you can gently move your hand slightly forward. You might take it slightly out to the side, and find new spots. You might take it back. But wherever you go, you're moving really slowly, breathing into it. And then finding the spot where you felt it the most, but you could still breathe. You could still soften your eyebrows, you could still soften your jaw. And staying there. Taking a big breath in, letting it out of your mouth. Relax your hand down, but keep your ear melting over towards your shoulder. And then we're going to very, very slowly start to turn your chin as if your chin wanted to look towards your left shoulder. And just seeing if you can chart the different muscles of the neck now getting involved. Once your chin has turned enough that feels good for you today, if you want, you can lift your chin up and away from your shoulder. And then softly rolling it down. And keep rolling it until it comes all the way back through center. Again, as if it was moving through treacle, through molasses, through syrup, whatever is your sweet and gooey substance you'd like to imagine. And then softly bringing your head up through center. And coming to the other side. So again, honoring that this side might feel totally different. So finding out how this process of melting feels. Can you tell a difference when you're breathing in to when you're breathing out? What moves? What are the little subtle shifts? Can you feel those sensations in one spot? Do they feel like a web, a band? Do they feel soft and malleable? Does it feel like concrete? So getting to know the geology, the geography of your neck. And then if you'd like, you can take your fingers on that same side down towards the ground. So your left fingers gently, as if they were being tugged softly down. And finding that length along your neck. And seeing if you can, with every exhale, relax your shoulders and your eyebrows and your jaw a little bit more. Relaxing your stomach, relaxing your other hand. Noticing if the sensations change. And then gently, if you like, taking your hand softly forward. Maybe taking it out to the side. Maybe taking it back and around. And then just seeing where you felt it the most, that was still had some ease. You could still be soft. Your other hand can still relax. And see if you can breathe into that space. Imagining the oxygen moving in and around those tighter parts, sending the message with the breath that this is a safe time to let go. And seeing how your body reacts to that. And then gently bringing your hand down. Very softly starting to roll your chin towards your shoulder. You might feel it now move to epicenters of the stretch to different muscles. And if you like, you can lift your chin slightly up and away from your right shoulder, but only if it feels good. And wherever you are, starting to roll your chin back down, really taking your time. And when your head gets down to the center, letting yourself take a really massive exhale. And then softly lifting your head up through center. And taking your hand, so we're going to start with your left hand, and we're going to place it, it's quite nice when it's on your skin here. So if you find your collarbone, And then you place your hand right underneath your collarbone. Obviously, just if that's comfortable. If there's anything there that is uncomfortable, you don't have to put your hand there. If it does feel good, you can press in and press down and gently lift your chin up and away. So where we're looking for a sensation is across the front of the throat. Sometimes where we feel this is around the jaw, but sometimes in our ears, and sometimes even in the temples. These muscles can get quite tight from a lot of looking at our phone. So as we round forward, the muscles in the chest, like the pectoral muscles, can contract, and these muscles actually work a little bit more. And as they get tight, they can send that tightness up into the face, up into the ears. So taking a nice big breath in and a big breath out. Softly on an inhale, bring your chin back up through center, and then gently coming to the other side. So taking your other hand, finding that collarbone, if that feels good. If you have something there, then you can rest your hands down and then just gently lift your chin up and away. You can press your hand onto it if it feels good. So you're pressing in and down as you're lifting up and away and exploring this side. Seeing where it might spread into, where the sensations go. And then taking a big breath in and a big breath out. Softly on an inhale, release your hands, lifting up through center. And let your chin come down towards your chest. Big breath in here, big breath out, and softly lift your chin up. And now we're going to do a nice shoulder roll and a really nice massage of the shoulders. So what I like to do with this is actually bend my thumbs and find this muscle right here, the trapezius. So it's quite a thick, juicy muscle right there. And if you bend your thumbs in, you can nestle in at the front, take your fingers to the back of the muscle, and then softly lift either in, if that's feeling good, or lift up. Yeah. So you can do that a few times, just kind of squeezing in. The massage works very similarly to stretching. It relaxes the muscles, sends a message to the body that it's safe to let go. It opens them up, sends the blood flow in. And the blood flow is what helps repair and restore muscles. And then taking that, I'm going to bring it up the side of the neck. You can do it with two hands. I'm doing it with one just to take my ponytail out of the way so you can see up the back of the neck. And then when you get to the top, you can take your fingers and find the ridge. At the very press in here and press up. There's usually a few little bits in there. And if you like, if it feels good, you can even rest your head sort of back onto your hands. So as your fingers are pushing up, your head is resting back. And sometimes that feels really nice on those muscles. A lot of tension, headaches have their origins in this area. So you can do little circles, so you can press in and up. And then gently taking your hands together once more, relaxing back onto the back of the chair. And then once again, just relaxing your hands over your heart, relaxing your shoulders. And then taking your hands once again to the lower part of your stomach. And you can keep your eyes closed here. And just rest onto the back of the chair so you can feel the support of the chair. So we're ending in the same position that we started in today. Once again, feeling the support of the chair to allow your muscles to do a little less and sink a little bit more. Noticing how your breath is now. Noticing the difference in temperature around the areas that we've been moving today. We've moved the spine forwards and back, side to side, twisted from side to side. We've moved the neck, getting into the muscles around the sides and front and the back. Relaxing the arms. And in this time, we're giving a moment for the body to absorb what we've done, to prioritize resting and repairing. When we get a chance to do nothing is when the body prioritizes. All its little repair jobs. So far from not doing anything, this time can be really productive. Can slow down the heart rate, slow down the amount of adrenaline in the system, can chemically change us by slowing down the amount of cortisol being released. Our hormones change as a result of rest. So giving yourself permission to do nothing. And seeing what you can hear. Seeing if you can hear the furthest away sound. So actively looking for that sound that's the furthest away from you. And then tuning into sounds that are a little bit closer. And then seeing if you can hear your own breath. And if you like, you can make your breath a little bit louder so you can hear it. Becoming aware of the weight of your hands on your thighs, the touch of your fingers against each other. Aware of how much your feet are touching the floor, how much of your thighs are touching the chair. And becoming aware of what you can smell. becoming aware of the taste that's in your mouth. And noticing if that tuning into your senses made you naturally exhale a little bit longer. Let a little bit more of that air out. And start to deepen your breath a little bit more. And start to wiggle your fingers. If you like, you can do a little circle with your wrists. It should feel a little warmer and more open now. If you like, you can take that circle up and overhead. Maybe do a sigh or a stretch or a yawn of your back. And move it in any way that feels good here. Just notice if anything feels a little bit looser now. Take a really massive yawn out. And then relax your arms down. So that is the end of our chair yoga relaxation for today. So thank you so much for part of it. It's been